What's the difference between living rich and living poor? Is it the amount of money that you have, or is it the way that you spend the money that you have? I think it's the latter. I really do. I've been retired now since 2005, and I actually make quite a bit of money right now because I've put myself in a position to. I recognized that, in fact, I had 60 some years of experience and I had a lot to share. And so I put myself into a position to share it, and then I monetized it. But I got to thinking about how I live. It used to be, when I was in the work world, I wore a suit and tie and French cuffs and dressed up every day. I now own one suit, and I wear it to weddings and funerals, and that's about it, so it doesn't get a lot of use. I don't buy a lot of clothes. My normal dress is that of a t-shirt and then sports coats. I like sports coats. Right now I got a pair of shorts and running shoes on. So I've made a decision that I'm not a shopper. I buy most of, if I need to buy some t-shirts, I go to Target. If I need some new jeans, I buy them online. I go to a company called Make Your Own Jeans. It's in India, and they make the jeans to fit me perfectly. And I pay about $70 for them. I would never pay $120 for a pair of blue jeans. I just, if I want to get dressed up, I'll have them pressed and make them look good. But I think it's how you spend your money. As I said, I dress simple. I drive a 2016 BMW. I bought it used. I've got 50,000 miles on it. I'll probably drive it until it's got 100,000 miles on it, and that probably won't happen until 2026. It's an awfully good-looking car. It's a well-performing car, but I take good care of it. I know I need it to take me another 50,000 miles, so I have the oil changed on the schedule that it's scheduled for. When I bought the car, I was asked if I wanted a warranty program, and no, I don't. Well, you know, it's in case your tires get blown out. Well, I take care of my tires, and once they get worn, yeah, I'm going to replace them. Well, what about the rims if they get scuffed? And they get scuffed. What about if the paint gets scratched or dented? It gets scratched or dented. Understand, I'm going to drive this car to 100,000 miles, and then I'm going to drive it into a ditch somewhere. I don't know. I'm going to trade it in, and whatever it's worth, it's worth. I don't allow myself to get into situations where I buy things we don't need, that aren't going to make a difference in my life, that aren't going to present value to me. We just had a refrigerator go out, and I said to Nita, that refrigerator only lasts us 5 years. She said, no, it actually, we got it while you were still working, so we bought it somewhere in 2003, and so it's almost 20 years old. Oh, I didn't know that. So we go to look for refrigerators, and the salesman wants to sell me a Sub-Zero. And I said, why would I want a Sub-Zero? And he was telling me all the features and benefits and how it would last 20 years. And I thought, well, the one we had lasted us almost 20. He said, yeah, but the new ones don't last though. I said, I'm 76 years old. I don't need a refrigerator until I'm 96. So, you know, I spend my money based upon what makes sense. The other thing that I think is very important is I change my own light bulbs. Yeah, I do. I grew up, I know how to fix things. With this refrigerator, he said, do you want us to hook up the ice maker? And he said, we'll sell you a special tube and that'll cost you $35. I said, I know how to operate a wrench and a pair of pliers. I can do that myself. I'm quite fine with that. So I know how to do things myself. When the lights go out, I change the light bulbs. When I see that there's something wrong in the plumbing in our house, particularly if a toilet isn't flushing right, I know how to change that little float and that apparatus in there. So I do a lot of things for myself, even though I'm on paper, I'm a multimillionaire. And so I think in retirement, we have to take advantage of what we can do and then what we can't do. And then I think the smartest thing I ever did as far as retirement was I've always had a business. I've always had something that I was doing. When I was writing this book, The Christmas Web, I had a business. When I was writing these books, I have a business, so I collect royalties. That business then has business expenses. I do videos. YouTube pays me for the videos. I'll give you an example. We're going, Nita's cousin passed away in Indianapolis, so we're driving 600 miles up to Indianapolis. Well, my brother lives there, so we'll probably spend 3 days there. We'll stay in a hotel. In fact, anymore, I want to stay downtown in any place I go. I don't want to stay in the suburbs. I don't want to be locked into a room with busy highways around. I want to stay downtown. I'll put my bike in the back seat of my car. And on Sunday or in the early mornings, I'll get up and I'll ride my bike through the city. I'll get to know that city. I'll take my camera with me, and I'll probably put a tripod in the backpack. And while I'm there, I'll take some videos, and I'll share those videos with you, or I'll share them with people over on my YouTube, on my Best of Us Investors channel. I figure that trip's going to cost me gas up and back probably $170. The hotel will run somewhere between $800 and $1,000, and then we'll spend some food. So all in all, it's going to be about a $1,200 to $1,200 trip. Okay, now that's $1,200 that comes out of my income. I have a choice then, when I get that income, of paying taxes or not. Yes, I have that choice. Because I'm going to take 3 videos while I'm up there 3 days, I'll write this trip off as a business trip. And so that $1,200 will go to a business expense, which will reduce my income by $1,200, which will, since I'm in the 40% state and federal tax bracket, that's going to save me 40%. Well, if it's $1,000, that'd be $400. So that's an expense. It's not money that I'm going to have to take from my income. It's actually money that I'm going to expense against my business and save myself $400 to $500 in taxes. That's how I live wealthy. Okay, that's how I afford to do things. We'll do the same thing when we go down to, for Thanksgiving, we always spend a week or 2 at the beach. I'll take videos every day, and I'll expense that house that we're renting, the food the gas that we use. I'll expense it all against my income. That's not only living wealthy, it's living smart. It's understanding how money flows through. Someone asked me, how are you on your financial map? I said, what do you mean by that? And he said, do you know where every penny that you spend goes? I said, yeah, of course I do. But, and again, the reason I do is I never carry cash. I mean, I might have 34, I pay for my haircut. That's the only thing I pay for in cash. Everything else goes on my American Express, my American Express Gold Card. Every month, I look at that American Express card or that bill. They send me the bill, and I write exactly what that expense was for, and I ask a question on every expense. Is that a business expense? Can that be a business expense? All the books I read, they're all business expense because they're all there to teach me, to help me be smarter. When I go to Home Depot, if I'm buying light bulbs, they're going in my office. That's a business expense. So I look at everything as to how I can run it through the business. And whatever I can move from that income line to that expense line, I save 40% of it. That's how you live wealthy, okay? That's how you minimize your expenses in retirement. And also at the same time, which I think you really need to consider, how you maximize your income. You have knowledge. I want to really hammer this home to you. If you retired at 65 and you start at work at 20, you've got 45 years of experience. It's worth something. You need to monetize it. Anyway, if you're an artist, if you're a writer, you need to monetize it. And then if you're a writer, it's like when I wrote this book, Who Are You and Where Are You? It's all about the first 14 years of my life. I had to go to Cincinnati, and I had to interview my aunts and my uncles to tell me about how I was raised. That's a business expense. That's how you minimize your expense, minimize your taxes, and maximize your lifestyle. Okay? Everything you should do. First of all, you need a LLC. Anybody who's retired and has any other source of income. There's something else that happened today that I thought was very interesting. I met with two young men. I'm also a real estate agent, and they came to look at 9 acres of land that I'm trying to develop, and they want to buy it from me. And I asked them what they were doing, and he said, "We have 7 people in our circle, and we want to live together and we want to grow together. And we want to buy this land, and they all have different skill sets, and we want to put those skill sets together, and we want to create a business that will help us have a better retirement." What a wonderful idea. What an idea of, let's don't do this retirement thing or build this retirement income by ourselves. Let's create a team. Let's get a bunch of people together. Now, what they'll do, they're all young professionals. They'll pool their credit, and they'll go to a bank. They'll set up a company, and each one of them will guarantee that loan. And they'll go out there, and they'll build homes for themselves. And they've got 27 lots, and there's 7 of them, and 20 other people. And they'll create something that will give them continuing income. Heck, they might make some of them into rental properties, and some of them will take the rental properties, and it'll be a part of their retirement. They're working together as opposed to working alone. And that's something you should consider. Look at the people around you, and don't just look at your friends. Look at I've said several times before, look at your children. What do they need that you can help them with, and then they can help you with? As I said, maybe your son-in-law or maybe your son you can help them buy a depressed piece of property, fix it up and flip it, or fix it up and rent it. You have something they need, and that's knowledge, and that's a good credit score, okay? They need that. They have something you need: energy, skills, work, and maybe you can show up with paint the wall or something like that. But that's how you need to be thinking about your retirement. How can I create a business so that some of my pleasure can become a business expense? How can I manage the expense of how I dress, how I spend my money, so that I have more for my retirement living? All right, I'll talk to you again.